Then there were 3. 4. 4. I can't count. 4.
The magic conch told us to do something rather unspeakable, so we're not going to speak about it.
Dang you had.
I mean, speak for yourself. My stomach has never been so full.
You had to sacrifice a Scottish person for this. Was it worth it?
Well, not just a Scottish person. We also have Joran, who's off to go to a sleepover with her little niece.
Combo meal with fries and a shake. I'm sorry, they had to go. Jesus, this is the darkest attempt I tried to do. We're actually very close to
I feel like we've had to have done worse at some point in this channel.
We got close to it. So, we're very close to the end of the Kelp Forest. All we gotta do is conquer Mermaid Man's test of power and strength, which is just one more sliding puzzle. But it is probably one of the most tightest ones to do, especially because this is actually one of the most diabolical slides this game has to offer.
And who else to give it to us but the horribly aged superhero?
He is aged like fine butter.
Oh, jeez.
Does Mermaid Man smell like aged butter?
Yes! Yes, I do! Yes, I do! Again, it's one of those times like, I wish I could have heard the original guy say it, because that line delivery was fun.
Yeah, it's just...
Yes, I do!
It's hard to speak in native old.
It is, like... Now I'm thinking about it, it is kind of wacky how, like... It's cool to see, like, these characters that probably started off just being one-offs, but everyone loved them so much. Like, I remember, like, the actor himself saying that a lot of people loved him as a, like... Because he was a classically trained actor, been in things since, like, black and white movies, but, like, like kids loved him as Mermaid Man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, kudos to him for sticking with it for as long as he could.
Yeah.
It got to a point where he was so good that, like, he was so good that they came up with an explanation that he and Barnacle Boy are stuck in suspended animation, so you don't have to worry about them appearing in the series.
Aww. But anyway.
So what you're saying is they're fully retired superheroes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Nice.
This slide reminds me of the Spyro slides from 3. It's making me uncomfortable.
I can see that. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite ones, just in terms of like how twisty and windy it gets. But there we go.
I mean, at least it controls better than the slidey stuff in Spyro 3.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go get our reward because we survived the slide and his time trial.
I do believe you owe us one spatula.
Oh no! That's some time you've gotten.
And I've lost all of mine. Can't you tell?
I guess I owe you a reward.
One kiss.
Like what? Kiss?
Spatula.
Thanks,
Mermaid Man, I'm not.
It's the reward of champions. It's the reward of love.
Mermaid Man, I don't think I want that.
Giving you your reward.
Your eternal
Just starts holding SpongeBob leaning in. Anywho, with Patrick, I'm just gonna get another sock. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
I would have totally expected you to do that a third time.
Yeah.
Firmly grasp it. Oh my gosh, so many good. And you know what? This has inspired me to invite all of you, not the viewers. I'm so sorry. I just don't know you guys enough that well. But invite you guys. We gotta like, because I did finally test it out because I know we kept talking about it, but like I now can confirm that yes, all seasons 1 through 6, aka more than double the episodes that actually matter, are available on Amazon Prime for free viewing. We should just like marathon it.
I mean, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah.
I know we tried to a long time ago because we had, but it was like we had to like either look at a DVD or look at something else to try.
I mean, the only what's up?
I was about to say, like, wouldn't it make more sense if they were on like a Paramount Prime, since you know?
Oh no, they're on that too.
They
it's just that even like this. Remember, this was like before Paramount Plus became a thing.
Right. Amazon for right now still has a contract. How much longer that's going to last now that Paramount is a thing, I don't know. There we go. But that's a person, Patrick. Anyway, but yeah, up until now, like I think they still have a contract, but I don't know how much longer it'll last. But until it does, I have access. Otherwise, otherwise, I think we have to. James, I think you have Paramount at one point.
No, I never touched it.
I think it's Royce who has it.
Yeah, Royce does.
I'm trying to remember. Don't you have Paramount Plus, Sam?
My dad does.
Okay, because I was trying to remember, like, I know you and I watched the first episode of the Rugrats reboot together. I was trying to remember how we saw it.
Oh, I know how we saw it. We don't mention it, but,
Oh, okay, because...
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I remember how.
Oh, nice. And with that, I actually have enough spatulas to beat the game now.
Hooray.
But
But
I want to
first-
go to that cool, creepy place over there.
Yeah,
I
the
love this
they
up-
say the algae's always greener on the other side, but this might say otherwise.
This is not the kind of green you want. Welcome. Oh, look, a familiar face.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
look, it's
hey
me,
there,
the Flying Dutchman.
You ain't the Flying Dutchman. You ain't brothers to Bill Murray.
That's
We
not
don't-
what
we
that's
don't-
not
we
what
don't-
was
do-
said
do we-
yesterday.
Oh, I was like, I forgot. Did we tell Sammy the fun fact about Mr. Flying Dutchman here?
I thought you did know that.
Yeah, I did. I knew it. Yeah.
Who dares disturb the Flying Dutchman?
They're looking pretty good compared to the first time you were in a video game.
Yeah, you're certainly faring better, too.
I'm not a Shell Scout.
Look, kid, I'm doing
Also
this
forgot they didn't give him a filter for the for Bowser for speaking about him, so it does seem a little weird to actually just hear him speak natural.
darn.
I'm trying to remember, like, did he have... did he have, like, that noticeable of a filter on the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Slightly echoey.
It was always meant to be like spectral and echoey.
Okay, because I know, like, there definitely was one in Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I would argue that they probably put a little too much of one in that game.
Is there anything I can do
It's
to make you feel
admittedly funny too, considering that like between the two games, like Revenge of the Flying Dutchman was actually able to get most, if not all, the actors intact with their usual, even right down to how they act and how they sound. But that all aside, what can we expect out of the Flying Dutchman's graveyard?
This has the most treacherous platforming that they can provide. Also, this is where I was supposed to first meet this guy.
Yeah, I saw
Which,
you in my dreams once.
Oh, technically, Mr. Krabs' dream. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's simple.
Smart Alec kid.
Oh, now
who
he's
did
dead.
that?
Targeting.
Sponge,
Oh,
why are you?
no.
I was about to say, why were you dancing there?
Yeah, basically the
felt
way they
like
work
it.
is they have a little bubble. They have a little bubble shield that is completely impervious unless you deal some sort of ranged attack with it
just
first.
met the
Sorry.
Sponginator?
Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm curious now to Sammy and Hype. How was that Rugrats reboot?
Oh.
It was... The best way I would describe it is that when it's focusing on the babies, it's pretty good. I'd argue probably on the same level as the original.
Opening presents?
It's when it focuses on the parents where it gets a little bit more divisive.
Yeah, that's pretty much my whole entire thing on it. It's like, okay. So, they did some interesting changes with the parents, I'll say that much.
Right.
And that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Well, I know one of them. Again, not saying that that's a bad thing what they did, but I remember like one of them had a whole big, to remain socially trendy. Another like a big character development was made with one of them, but like with Chaz and things like that, like were they like acting particularly out of character?
I think
I
Chaz
don't
was
recall
fine.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't recall Chaz acting out of character, and Betty, like, aside from the one retcon they did with her, she seemed mostly fine. It's mostly with the Pickleses and it's mostly with Stu, Dee Dee, and especially Angelica's parents
Gramps.
that they changed a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, they did. They
well, I'm curious now. Like,
they kind of made Charlotte like even more of an asshole than I thought she would ever be. To be honest.
aww,
Mm-hmm.
that's unfortunate.
And with Stu, I think they nixed the idea of him being a toy maker and instead made him what they make him instead?
Inventor
video
of sorts. That was pretty much it.
Oh,
Just
Oh, I thought it was.
scientific.
I thought it was a
inventor.
video game developer.
Actually,
but that's
okay. I think like
that
the,
was no, but I was thinking of the 101 Dalmatians where they made Roger a game developer.
actually, I think like the most egregious ones, in my opinion. I think Stu was okay to me, but like Dee Dee and Grandpa Pickles were definitely like a weird thing. It's like, whoa, hi.
Oh yeah,
Also,
like
thank you to the developers for putting that big sign on that thing. That did not used to be there in the original, and you were just kind of left to interpret that you were supposed to hit that thing.
yeah.
Now we can do this properly because it's a time trial.
Like for me, in the case of Grandpa, it's like he's definitely a much different kind of character that he was in the original. Like they made him more mellow and more of a hippie by comparison.
Yeah,
And
they-
I'd say that like once you get past the fact that he's a radically different character, I'd say he's alright, but again, it is one of those things where you kind of have to do a double take and realize, wait, that's supposed to be Grandpa?
Yeah, basically what they made him was that, like, he isn't, like, a war veteran anymore. He fought against, Woodstock and survived Woodstock, apparently.
What?
He's...
No, I like... Go ahead.
He's basically a hippie, and I'm like, huh, alright.
It's like, man, I love the story of... or maybe I'm thinking of Hey Arnold, but I love the story of like a grandpa just punching Hitler in the face.
Oh yeah, that was Hey Arnold, where he gave Hitler a wedgie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And I punched a shark!
Yeah, and then, like, with, and then another thing with Grandpa, they kind of hint at it, he might be bisexual?
Huh.
Oh, I think it was because of like a gag that was in the first episode where like I think it was the first episode where it's like Angelica was spamming this delivery service that the folks were using, and one of the calls that she made unintentionally was like a dating service and got Grandpa a date with some old guy.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, but that doesn't imply that he was like he was seeking it at first. But I don't know.
Well, it's like, he wasn't seeking it, but he wasn't against it.
Yeah, he wasn't against it.
You're making me think of the freaking. It was like, man, it took me to. It took me to a site that was wrong. Not wrong. Not. I mean, not
wrong,
incorrect. Just
wrong
not
for me.
wrong. That's
And
not
also,
right for
I
me.
don't
And
have
actually-
a problem with, like, you know, representation of LGBT stuff. I think that that's fine.
Although that being said, that does. Now that you mentioned that, Sam, that's also another thing. Going back to Betty real quick, they pretty much like nixed Howard out of canon and made her a lesbian.
Right,
Which makes
that
me
I remember.
question
That I do
who's
remember,
the-
which
who's their
I didn't mind.
father?
Like I could accept that. That didn't like seem like.
Wasn't Howard kind of a nothing character in the original show anyway?
Yeah, he kind of
Absolutely. Out of all the parents, it was really Stu. It was really Stu and Drew that you remembered, and Chaz. Like
Oh, yeah.
Howard really like had like maybe 2 lines, but I had no idea what his character was. It was Betty that I remembered more. So.
Oh yeah, no, Betty for sure.
Like, you know, I'm fine with that, but I'm wondering who's their father now at this point.
Yeah, could have been adopted or.
Maybe. Like, granted, I have not seen Season 2, so I don't know if any of that has been addressed. Come to think of it, I haven't really seen a lot of the show outside of the pilot. Like, the most I've seen past it is I saw, like, a clip about how, like... Oh, what's up?
Timber!
Cool, we can now progress forward and hopefully swap to Sandy soon.
Nice.
Continue.
The only other thing I remember that they did for the show is they also introduced Kimmy, and they kind of retooled her as well. So instead of them meeting her in like Reptar Land, Japan and whatnot, now she's older. First off,
wasn't that in Paris?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. They
Yeah,
completely
that's what it's supposed to be,
reinvented. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. They reinvented Kimmy for the series. First off, she's now the same age as Angelica, and she's now part of Angelica's preschool class.
Huh.
Yep.
Huh.
Okay.
Which, I don't know. Like that, that's odd because I remember I remembered getting a kick out of the Rugrats in Paris movie even more so than the first movie, and I remember it being a really fun character development that now it's just kind of nixed.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I kind of like both movies just fine, but I do admit that like there's a handful of moments from the Paris one that I liked. I think one joke that for some reason that sticks to me for a bit is when Chaz, like the whole subplot of Coco trying to romance Chaz and marry him. At one point, he receives like a watch as a gift from her, like to my darling Chad, and he's all lovey-dovey at first. Then he pulls back, Chad.
That's right. That type of. What was that whole plot point again? Like she thought it would like be better optics for her if she had a whole family and stuff.
Yeah, but basically she did it as a way to make her look, you know, suitable for a manager position in front of her supervisors.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, no, Dee Dee actually did, like, really bother me, because, like, she makes these, like, weird jokes where it's like, oh, you know, we're gonna have to send you to therapy for that! Like, kind of, like, little things, and it's like, okay, why?
But I think I can get the idea, though. The idea is that, once again, she is the rich person who can just buy all their troubles away while not really being the best.
She said Dee, not Charlotte.
Dee Dee.
Oh, it's Charlie, sorry, Dee.
Yeah.
Ah, bad.
Yeah, I don't really.
Then actually, wow, that is very out of character for Dee Dee to say that because I was like that sounded like a Charlotte line to me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was Dee Dee because she's like extremely overbearingly protective and is like, oh, I'm just a bad parent. We're gonna have to send you to therapy and all that kind of stuff. And it's like,
I mean, considering she was kind of she was a pretty awful parent in the original show anyway.
Well, they all were. Let's not kid ourselves. Like,
Oh yeah, no, they were all bad parents.
It would be boring
Like,
if
I
they were
think they-
good parents, though.
yeah.
Like, honestly, I would make the argument, and it still kind of applies in the reboot.
It
I think
does.
Chaz was probably like, oh boy. Like, I think Chaz was probably like the best parent out of all of them, and he's
He
a
really
single dad.
He really was.
Well, was
That
a
is
single
true,
dad.
Yeah, you raise a good point. I could have sworn there's been at least 1 or 2 comics where they were finally just like, Gramps, how many times have we put the children in your care and you sleep?
I mean, honestly, if you knew this would happen, why do you put them under my care to begin with?
Yeah, that's,
Look, all I know is I'm the one who keeps making these elaborate prices, and you're the ones who keep paying them. So I ask you.
All I know is that you know this happens every time I'm put under their care, and
Come
yet
on,
you
Game
still
Freak.
ask me to anyway. So who's a real idiot?
well, yeah, they even
I don't know.
go to like concerts and all that, and then they're like, oh, I'm just worried that he's gonna get hurt and all that, and it's like, if you're so worried, why not stay home then?
Or just get a babysitter. And whoa. The other thing was, and I know it's fake, but I'll always love the Russian roulette comic with. The
Oh yeah, it's like
Oh yeah, I wish that was canon.
I know, because the look in his face was perfect. I could have accepted that as an edgy humor for that show for the adults. Though, like, I was playing Russian roulette with the boys. Oh, did you win? You've never played Russian roulette. You have no idea what Russian roulette is, do you?
Oh, did you win?
yeah,
Into the portal of the damned.
but yeah, just as an ultimate summary, like the Rugrats reboot, it's decent. Like again, the parents are a little bit hard to get past, but the baby stuff is perfectly fine. I'll say this much: it's a better attempt at rebooting the franchise than what the Fairly Odd Parents had.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that freaking meme of a face of Crocker in prison.
This is why you don't show him from a front-facing profile.
It's the same with It's the same with Phineas. We don't. Oh no, Phineas. No, yeah, Phineas. There's a reason why certain character angles are never meant to be seen straight from the front.
Exactly.
They're just freaks. They're the freaks.
They are. But yeah, no, it was wacky, and the fact that they're going to do that, and I think we were to discuss this. The fact they're about to do that with Loud House, I'm still not sure what to make of that.
Like, I don't have a particularly strong attachment to Loud House, so for me it's just kind of
Uh-oh.
a what? Oh boy.
Damn it.
I was about to say, like, I don't have a particularly strong attachment to Loud House, so for me it's just more of a whatever thing, but yeah.
I'll say this: I'm very curious what they're going to do with that, because Loud House is a predominantly like children acting cast. Like, it's supposed to follow a bunch of kids in this house. So, A, I don't know what's going to happen, and B, I don't know, man. It's a really weird thing. That's all I can say. Is especially after how,
Well,
especially how especially how the Fairly Odd Parents went. I'm very curious to see where they think this is going to go and why it was a good idea. Anyway, we're actually already almost done with this world. All we gotta do is take the rowboats up there to the pirate ship to help the Flying Dutchman get his ship back.
Yeah, this feels like the shortest of the worlds in this area.
It's very focused. It's very just platforming, and that's how you call it back. There is like one sort of grand finale, but that will actually have to wait until the next part. For now,
Oh.
how the hell are you here?
Yes!
Money.
Oh, I already did that joke with Squidward, Mr. Krabs.
Oh.
Yes, well, it's a good one though, eh?
Wait, what was the joke again?
Swab the poop deck.
Oh.
That's the joke.
Destroy all the power
I don't get it either. Like, again, I'll
Swab?
give it to them. Freaking
Dick.
heavy iron, like
the robot ship.
they knew one joke and they stuck with it, but the kids don't just like butt jokes. There are other jokes.
And it's so funny because, like, for a good while, SpongeBob's usually been pretty good about avoiding that kind of crass humor.
The only time I remembered was, and maybe that was the whole point, was Steven Hillenburg relegated all of the butt jokes to the ripped pants episode and nothing more.
Right, because that was pretty much the whole point of the episode, to show that, yeah, no, that kind of shit gets annoying after repeated use.
Well, I mean,
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh, yeah, you're right.
well, I mean, just toilet humor in general. Like, I think the most I can recall, anyway, unless anyone thinks of a worse example, the worst I can recall is during the second movie, during like the whole war opening, like they're firing off the ketchup gun, but the gun's empty, and you know how when a ketchup ball is empty, it does the and SpongeBob's like, "Oops, excuse me."
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
I mean, like, it's very brief, and, you know, they treat it as, like, it is something I can see SpongeBob and Patrick doing, but like I said, it's very brief.
There was also that one bit from that one Gary Takes a Bath episode, the ha! I actually don't know how you're supposed to get up here normally, so I just kind of sequence break by doing that.
That's all, I mean, the game will let you.
But the other one I remember is the frickin', the whole frickin', look, doubloons!
Don't drop them.
And the moment of like, wait a minute, what?
That's one of those sort of double meanings that jokes that SpongeBob was very much big with in the
Sorry,
had
to see
that.
There's that. The SpongeBob doesn't have hair.
Or does he?
Just little things. I love it. So, oh, the other quick thing to talk about this is, if you go and turn on the cannons right away without destroying all of the power generators on that ship, they'll basically try to fire, and there'll be a little special cutscene that plays where the robot ship just easily, like, diffuses all of the grenades, or all of the bombs, the cannons, I should say. So make sure you destroy all those power generators, and then make the perilous journey up here.
And then we'll get those spatulas.
Actually, yes, because now... Oh, wait, not yet. We have to go to the special... We have to get to the special fire cannon button. But I want a sock. Come on.
Oh, there you go.
Have sock.
And then we just drop on down. This is not how lassos work, by the way. Okay.
Oh, it's not.
I like this game cares. It's like you're literally lassoing on top of you're literally lassoing freaking icons of Texas just to get from place to place.
Yeah, no, that's true. There we go. Get this little guy.
Now, unfortunately, Sandy does not know the fine art of butting, so we're gonna have to bring in SpongeBob.
Fine butting.
By butting. Can ya? Can ya? Can ya?
There you go. Come on. Now, fire!
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 And there it goes. And there we go.
What will happen?
Yeah.
Now, what will happen next? Join us the next time, because that I will still straight up say that that's kind of a bummer. The cutscene didn't play where the robot ship blows up because you shot it down. It just immediately cuts to the next part where we're gonna give the ship back to the Flying Dutchman. It's weird like that. Stay tuned.
Don't listen to everybody.
Bye-de-bye.